Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Did you know that Michael Jordan, who many people consider to be the greatest basketball player of all time, once considered himself a racist? Yeah, fam. Mike said, man, at one point, I hated all white people. Yeah. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how did he manage to navigate through that and be surrounded by white people on a daily basis, like all of his business, and he ended up marrying a white woman, and like, how did that happen? Like I can get how you can like get off the racism gas, or you but I don't even see how he could say that he was racist. I think he could be prejudiced, but not racist, because racism is about having power over someone, like being able to, manipulate the outcome for, someone's life, socially, politically, where, like Michael Jordan, as a black man, can't just call the police and say this white person is messing with them, and the police just pop up and just automatically take his side over the white person's side, no questions. He can't just do that. Even him being Michael Jordan, they're still going to want to know what the white person had to say about it, and they're still going to give the white person the benefit of doubt. Even with him being the billionaire Michael Jordan, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, like, how did that happen? So Mike got this book that came out back in 2014, right? A biography. Well, it wasn't Mike's book. It was a biography called Michael Jordan, The Life. And the author is Roland Lazenby. This guy cited a 1992 Playboy interview where Michael Jordan discussed the frustration and environment that, as he later admitted, left him consumed by anger and division. This is when he was growing up in the Carolinas. He had moved from Brooklyn, New York, where he was born, to North Carolina. And that's where basketball entered his life. But he said that, man, there was so much racism around him in his community. At the school he went to, he was only one of two black basketball players. And, he talked about how this white girl called him the N-word once, and he threw a can of soda at the girl. Now, imagine a black guy, even if he's a star basketball player, just imagine, and I don't know if he actually was the star at that time, because remember, he was a late bloomer. So, but a black guy nonetheless, who's attending a predominantly white school, and he throws a can of soda at a white girl. He didn't talk about, like, well, at least in this story, I didn't read the book, but he didn't talk about what became of that situation and how it was resolved. But he talked about the racism that he experienced. At the time that Michael Jordan was living there, the KKK, pretty much their membership had kind of dwindled, because at their peak in North Carolina, KKK had 10,000 members across the state. So in Michael Jordan's daily life, he said that the world that he saw, the unkindness that he experienced from white people, made him hate white people, made him hate all white people. And he said, look, man, I experienced that firsthand. And he also said that people at the school told him that he was inferior because of his skin color. Those moments obviously left scars. And, one that stood out, as I explained earlier, back in 1977, a female classmate called him the N-word, and he snapped and threw a soda at her. So later he spoke about that time, and he described his reaction as really rebelling in a way. Jordan fought hate with hate. He fought hate with hate. And there are people who disagree with that, fighting hate with hate. I don't know, call it what you want, fam, but maybe fighting hate, whatever energy it is, I'm on default. You know what I'm saying? Like, a fight is a fight to me. So whatever that hate is, whatever it is that you bring, whatever that energy is you bringing, then that's the energy you're going to get back. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not the kumbaya dude. I'm a very nice guy. I'm very nice and lovable and huggable. Yeah, I'm a good guy. Totally cool, super cool. I don't start no mess. I don't get in the mess. I mind my own. Unless somebody mess with me and mine, then, it's a different ball game. But I give a person what they give me. So don't come looking over here and thinking I'm going to be the guru that say, well, you can't fight hate with hate. You're only going to hurt yourself. Jordan attributed his mother of helping him get through his anger issues, right? He said that it was his mother that helped him. The soda incident, right? The soda incident led to his suspension. That's what he said. So, and then he watched the miniseries Roots before that had happened. Before that incident happened, he watched the miniseries Roots. That's the story that was set during and after slavery in the United States. And it was a slave story, right? That showed white folks doing black people, treating them like literally animals, because that's what they considered black people as, animals, right? So that's how they treated black people. They just had no regard for, black life, zero regards for black emotions, spirit. They had zero concern about the family unit, breaking it up, selling mama, selling daddy, selling grandma, selling the kids, essaying the kids, essaying the fathers, whatever. They did whatever they wanted to. If they just woke up and felt like killing a black person, they could kill them and nothing would be said, because it was their property and they could do whatever they wanted to. Nobody stood up for them, not once. Okay? And so I do believe if hate had not been fought with hate, then it's quite possible that black people could still be in slavery today, because they don't want to tell you about this part, but black people was revolting all around the South, all throughout the South. Black people was killing slave owners and their families and everything. So they're not going to tell you that story. They want to make you think that it was all Abraham Lincoln and he did it out of the goodness of his heart. Oh, wow. He just set the poor black people free. No, it was black people who said death before dishonor. It reached a boiling point where it was just chaotic all throughout the South. Slave owners was popping up dead. Their wives was popping up dead. Their kids were popping up dead all throughout. It wasn't just the Nat Turner. They want us to think it was just Nat Turner and that one insurrection. No. It was literally hundreds of them. It was literally hundreds of slave revolts all throughout the South. But they won't tell you that, and they won't depict that in movies, because they don't want black people to ever think that they have the power to not just fight back, but to win, to be victorious. They never, never, never want black people to ever get that amount of courage. So that's why they bury the stories. Back to Jordan. Jordan said as he matured, the resentment that once fueled him began to fade. And so in the book, he credits his mother, Dolores, with helping him gain perspective. She warned him that holding on to that bitterness would only weigh him down. Fam, let me tell you something. Let me just use the Iran situation for a moment. If Iran would have folded when the U.S. was talking that tough talk, if they had folded when the U.S. bombed on them, they wouldn't have the respect of the world right now. Right now, nobody in the world want any parts of Iran because they know Iran gonna go crazy. They know Iran gonna match their energy. So America's energy is, we're gonna kill your president, we're gonna kill your brother, we're gonna kill his son, we're gonna kill his other son when we get a chance, we're gonna kill his wife, we're killing his children, anybody. And it's just gonna be, they're just gonna die. And we're gonna kill everything that we see. We're gonna bomb girls' school and everything. And we're still gonna paint the picture that you are the bad guys. You are the uncivilized guys. You are the animals. We're still gonna paint that picture and have majority of the world believe that we're the good guys. Hey, we're just trying to do the right thing by the people of Iran and give them liberation. That's all we're trying to do. Those are the bad guys over there. So if Iran would not have matched the U.S. energy, Trump wouldn't be over there boo-booing in his diapers because he's scared shitless right now. It ain't what he thought it was. I saw over the last maybe 48 hours or so how he's kind of changed his tune. He's starting to talk tough again. But for about a week, when he realized that the Iran war wasn't going as planned, he had a very, very somber, almost defeated type look in his disposition. You know, like he was not too confident about how that war was going. But if it wasn't for Iran standing up for itself, America could have attacked Iran. They would have replaced their leader and they would have pretty much owned Iran for the next 1,000 years. Remember, Trump said, I want to pick the leader, their next leader. I want to have some say-so in who their next leader is. Imagine somebody coming over here, not only executing, not only assassinating a U.S. president, but also telling Americans, we want to pick your next leader. We're going to pick your next leader. Man, it'd have to be a new America. It'd be a whole new America right then and there. You know, it'd be over. So I say what's good for the gander, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know, like, I don't believe in being nice to people who are unkind to me. I don't believe in that. And I sleep real good with those beliefs because I know some of y'all are like, well, you know, it ain't for them, it's for you. You know, you can't have that on you. It weighs you down. No, it don't. I fly. I be flying, man. I be flying over them haters. Yeah. Say, man, I give people the same energy they give me. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care about none of that stuff. If you love me, I love you. If you hate me, I hate you. And it's just that simple. No more talk.